Hello, I'm Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, your National Beef Checkoff program promotes and advertises generic beef, meaning it doesn't distinguish between beef born, raised, and slaughtered in the United States from beef that is born or raised or slaughtered in foreign countries. And that's why the Beef Checkoff logo, with the big red check mark below the word beef, only includes the word beef. It's designed to convince millions of American consumers that beef is simply beef, and that it doesn't matter who produced it, where it was produced, or how it was produced. Beef is simply beef, and that's all that matters. So that's how the $80-some million that U.S. cattle producers generate each year from their mandatory $1 per head beef checkoff assessment is used in your backyard, in your domestic market, which is your most important market, and which happens to be the largest beef-consuming market in the world. But let's stop here because some may say I'm misrepresenting the Beef Checkoff's message to American consumers. Well, by now, everyone has learned that the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, or NCBA, is the largest contractor of the Beef Checkoff program and will receive over $25 million of the nearly $39 million the Beef Checkoff program is awarding for fiscal year 2023. And by now, everyone knows that an audit by the U.S. Office of Inspector General revealed that 82.3% of NCBA's total funding is derived from your mandatory Beef Checkoff dollars. And by now, everyone is familiar with the infamous quote the NCBA and other beef packer trade associations wrote in their lawsuit against the mandatory country of origin labeling law. They told the court and the public this: in short, beef is beef, whether the cattle were born in Montana, Manitoba, or Mazatlan. The same goes for hogs, chickens, and other livestock. And so I've made no misrepresentation. The message communicated to your customers in your backyard, in your most important market, is clear. Just eat beef because all beef is equal. But outside your backyard, meaning in foreign markets, the rules change. In foreign markets, beef is not just beef. In fact, in those foreign markets, the Beef Checkoff program is used to showcase the superiority of U.S. beef. And the Beef Checkoff logo is changed to one that states not just beef, but it has U.S. beef above the red checkmark. So wait a minute. The mandatory Beef Checkoff program has a double standard. On the one hand, it promotes all beef as being equal in your backyard, while it recognizes the superiority of U.S. beef and that consumers actually prefer U.S. beef, and that's why your Beef Checkoff program is actively distinguishing U.S. beef in its promotion and advertising abroad. But wait another minute. We don't have mandatory country of origin labeling in the U.S. that requires the packers to declare in what country an animal was born, raised, and slaughtered. So what in the world does U.S. beef mean in foreign markets? Is it really U.S. beef? Of course not. Your checkoff program is merely using your good name and reputation as U.S. cattle producers to promote and advertise whatever products U.S. beef packers are authorized to export. So here are some examples. China authorizes U.S. packers to export beef produced in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Japan authorizes U.S. packers to export beef produced in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Australia, New Zealand, and a number of other countries. South Korea authorizes U.S. packers to export beef produced in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. So what should be clear by now is that the good name and reputation of the U.S. cattle producer has been confiscated and exploited by the very Beef Checkoff program that U.S. cattle producers are forced to pay into. So not only can U.S. cattle producers not use the Beef Checkoff program to promote and advertise their own trademark, their superior U.S. beef under their U.S. label, in their own backyard, but their trademark, the U.S. label, is nevertheless being used by their Beef Checkoff program to promote and advertise foreign beef in foreign markets. Do you care to guess who gets the benefits from that devious scheme? Haven't you wondered why your cattle prices were seriously depressed from 2015 through 2021, while beef exports have been reaching new record highs during that same period? And now you know the rest of the story. The true reason the beef packing lobby is so vehemently opposed to mandatory country of origin labeling for beef. You know, you should be outraged. You're being used as pawns within your own industry. And how long are you going to sit and take that? So go to our website at labelourbeef.com and join with us and help us put a stop to this grand deception that's literally dismantling your U.S. cattle industry. With that, have a productive week. Thank you and goodbye.